Well, our final group from our spring sports program today is our track and field program. Coach Clay McQuarrie in his second year as our head coach, and he's got his 5 senior athletes, Zane Moudry, Aiden Durkin, Jack Keeley, Ali Steitzer, and Ella Moudry here with us. So we're going to talk to Coach McQuarrie first, and then we'll meet his athletes. Coach, thanks for being here.
You bet. Thank you for having us.
So you're in your second year. You replaced some outstanding coaches in Zach Steitzer and Dan McGree, who were amazing coaches in our program, but I think you've kept the ship going in the right direction, and you've done some great things with the number of kids in your program, and I think it's just a really solid program right now.
Yeah, it's been good. We've had a lot of young kids come out this year, which has been, promising for the years to come. Dan and Zach, they obviously did a great job with the program. It was easy to step in and just take over from what they were doing.
So what's the number of kids in the program this year?
I think we are at 27 now, 27 kids. We started with about 30, and now we're down to 27.
And you had a few kids that just trained with your team, too, other sport athletes that came to practice and trained early on in the year, too, right?
Yeah, and we had a couple kids that just wanted to do the workouts with us, which is, I'm fine with that, just to help them get better for football, basketball, or any other sport they're, doing in the off season. So.
Good. Well, we're heading down the home stretch. We've got one more meet at Park High on Saturday, and then Divisionals in Whitefish. So maybe just talk about the end of the year and the kind of things you're looking for at Divisionals.
Yeah, so I guess we're right now kind of tapering down, kind of trying to get our kids' legs back underneath them. We'll have Park High this week. It's kind of a polishing up, seeing where kids are, and then we'll probably try to, Divisionals, hope we can get a few kids into the state with qualifying marks or, top 10. We do have a couple kids that have qualified so far, but we're hoping to get maybe 2 or 3 more kids to state.
Oh, very good. So maybe just talk about your kids that have qualified already.
Yeah, so Zane Moudry, he's qualified in the 300s and the 110s. And then Ella, she has qualified in the 100 and the javelin.
Very cool. And I know Jack has been at state before and looking to get him in it the last week here.
Hopefully. He's been hurt, so he hasn't been participating the last 2 or 3 weeks. So
we'll find out more about that in a minute. Well, Coach, I think you've done a great job. At Butte Central, we have, I think, 90% of our kids are in a spring sport, which is really cool for our school, and it's just really important to keep kids active and involved. And so between baseball, softball, tennis, and track, we've got a lot of kids doing some great stuff this spring.
Yeah, I think it's great for the school. Says something about the school and the kids that are in the school. A lot of them are doing it too, just for their friends are doing it, so they just want to be part of something at the school. So,
well, I think you do a great job, and I know you're also a guy that does a lot of training in the off season with strength and conditioning workouts with multi-sport kids. So, we appreciate that part of what you do for Butte Central too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, let's meet the seniors. Let's bring in Aiden Durkin first. Aiden is a discus thrower, a shot putter, shot and discus. So, talk about your 4 years at Butte Central Track.
Well, obviously it's been a long 4 years, but the end of the year has come down, and it all came by so fast. It's been a fun 4 years, and I've been working ever since my freshman year, and I've always loved track. Track's always a fun sport because it's an individual sport, but it's also one where you kind of bring a whole team together and try to get those medals. But also you want to work for yourself as well, and I've always loved that about track.
I know one of the things I've noticed this year is Coach Havlovec, who was the throwers coach, has had his throwers in the weight room every night before practice. So you guys have hit the weight room really hard this spring.
Yeah, especially this year we've been hitting the weight room really hard. It's been really nice to be able to work up our muscles, but also to work up our technique. Because, throwing is a mix of strength and technique, but I've always loved that. It's just nice to get into the weight room, get in shape, but also get ourselves better at throwing.
Very cool. So the goal at Divisionals is to PR, I suppose, right?
I mean, to be honest with you, it would be to make it to state as well. I'd love to PR, but if I can make it to state, that would be absolutely my number one goal. Let's
talk about your plans for college. I know you're interested in pre-med, so maybe talk about your college plans.
Well, I plan to go to Carroll College to go into pre-med, and then I think I'm going to go into something like psychiatry or neurology, so I could maybe go into one of those 2 fields, become an MD.
Very good. Well, good luck. Thanks for being here today, and we'll be pulling for that PR at Divisionals.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Aiden. Well, the next guy I think we talked to in the fall as a football player, football star at Butte Central. But Zane, you've had a really good track season. Already qualified for state in 2 events. Let's talk about those 2 events.
Yeah, the hurdles. They're kind of difficult sometimes, and you can get a little annoyed with yourself. But there are a lot of just techniques, so just working out 5 days a week, sometimes going, hate to say it, but with the Butte High kids and getting some of their
That's
input.
all right. We can train with them, right?
Yeah. Going with their coaches and getting a little input has helped a lot.
Very cool. So I guess the goal, probably, you've already qualified for state, which is great. So are you going to do both events at Divisionals?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay. Well, best of luck. I know you're on your way to Montana Tech on a football scholarship. You've got the Shrine game around the corner, and so you've got a couple busy months ahead.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on your career, and good luck at Divisionals and state, and finish your career strong.
Will do.
Thanks, Zane. Jack, come on in. We talked to you in the fall as well. You're on your way to Montana Tech as a football scholarship athlete, but I know you've been at state in the JAV once or twice.
Twice for JAV and all 4 years for the relays or whatever.
Very cool. So you've been at state all 3 years of your high school.
Yeah.
Very cool.
3 years.
So I see you have a broken thumb on your left hand.
Oh yeah.
So has that hindered your? I mean, I know you're a right-hander, but does that hinder your throwing at all?
No. I mean, you're just like ripping your elbow, so it's all right-handed, so it doesn't affect much.
So the goal at Whitefish or this weekend is to qualify, right?
Yeah. Just make it to state, and then from there, just see what you can do.
Very cool. So you're on your way to Montana Tech to study engineering next fall.
Yeah.
So and then as soon as baseball's or track is over, you'll probably hit the training with your Tech teammates, huh?
Yep. They just sent out the summer schedule, so it's going to be a busy summer, but it should be a lot of fun.
Well, good luck and congratulations on your 4-year career.
Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, Allie, we talked to you in the winter too. You're a basketball player. You play volleyball in the fall.
Yep.
And now you're finishing your career off on the track team again. So let's talk about your events and what you've done in track.
I'm a 100 sprinter, but this year I've started the 200. I'm doing pretty well on that.
Have you PR'd all year?
I PR'd, but I haven't qualified yet.
Qualified.
Yeah.
So that's the goal for Divisionals.
Yeah.
And let's tell everybody you're on your way to the University of Montana. And do you have a major planned?
I'm going to major in business and then go to law school.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. And you've had a really great 3-year or 4-year, 3-sport career at Butte Central. And we'll be rooting for you this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Allie. Well, our final athlete we're going to talk to today is Ella Moudry. And Ella has had an amazing career at Butte Central in multi-sports. She's a 2-time state champion in the javelin, so we're rooting like crazy that it'll be 3.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and you've been a clutch performer, so I think you're going to do great. But maybe just talk about your experiences. Freshman year you won the jav, sophomore year you got second, and then you came back and won last year. So talk about the javelin. It's a unique thing.
It's very much the technique. It's like you can't just try to chuck it, that's what I did my freshman year, and I feel like it's just all a technique.
You chucked it a long way to win the state, right?
Yeah. But you need to have technique for sure. It's completely different than most things.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so every year you've gotten a little better. Your career PR has been this year, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, 138.4 I got last week, 2 weekends ago. Yeah.
Very cool. And now you've also qualified in the 100 meters as well? Talk about that.
I haven't been in the 100 since my freshman year, so it was pretty cool to re-qualify in it, so I'm excited.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And now you're on your way to the University of Montana on a track scholarship, which is awesome. What do you plan to study?
I'm going into pharmacy. That's what I'll be doing, so I'm excited.
Very cool. Well, congrats. I mean, it's pretty amazing, and I know that, like I said, you're a clutch performer, and I know you'll be at your best, and everybody in Butte will be rooting for you, and we're really proud to have a 2-time and hopefully a 3-time state champion.
Hopefully.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
You bet.